From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Satellite and radar shows another round of scattered showers and thunderstorms making their way across mid-Michigan. Most of the activity that we currently have in place is going right along and south of I-96. Temperature-wise, yet again, going to be another hot and humid day. We're at 82 degrees here in Lansing, 84 your current temperature in St. John's. Rain has cooled their temperatures down into the mid to upper 70s in places like Jackson and Mason. Humidity will stick around as we go throughout the rest of the day, as will those scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll talk about when we'll finally be able to see some relief from this humidity in just a bit. 6 News at Noon starts right now.
WMMS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at Noon.
Mid-Michigan members of Congress speaking out as they prepare to learn more about America's role in the war between Israel and Iran. It's our top story at noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Megan Vaselli. 2 congressmen from mid-Michigan are offering support for the American strike against Iran. This as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth forcefully pushed back against an intelligence assessment claiming U.S. strikes only marginally set back Iran's nuclear program. As Torian Small reports, Pentagon officials revealed new information about the mission in a fiery news conference.
As a fragile ceasefire deal between Israel and Iran continues to hold,
President Trump created the conditions to end the war.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth forcefully pressed the case Thursday that U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear sites got the job done.
You want to call it destroyed, you want to call it defeated, you want to call it obliterated, choose your word. This was an historically successful attack.
Hegseth blasted reporters for focusing on a preliminary assessment from the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency suggesting Iran's nuclear program had only been set back by a few months. Defense officials also showed video of tests from bunker buster bombs used in the mission, which they say penetrated ventilation shafts, causing significant damage at key locations, including Fordow.
Simply stated, they absolutely crushed it.
President Trump jumped on social media after the news conference to push back on claims that Tehran moved the enriched uranium out of the sites in advance, saying it would have been too heavy and hard to do so. In a recorded video, Iran's supreme leader downplayed the U.S. strikes and warned against any further U.S. attacks.
We're going to talk to them next week with Iran. We may sign an agreement. I don't know.
Briefings for lawmakers scheduled for earlier this week were postponed.
Our history is full of efforts to either manipulate intelligence or, when the few cases where we ignore it, we do it at our own peril.
Today, Secretary Hegseth, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and other administration officials will brief senators behind closed doors. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
6 News caught up with the 2 men who represent most of mid-Michigan in Congress. 7th District Congressman Tom Barrett, who represents Ingham, Eaton, Clinton, Livingston, and Shiawassee counties, and 5th District Congressman Tim Walberg, who represents Jackson and Hillsdale counties, among others. They told us they're largely supportive of the president's decision.
I do believe that Congress has a role in determining the national security posture of the United States, and I want to continue to work on the ability to make sure that that's done appropriately, but the president did act within the existing use of force framework that Congress has authorized.
I don't think Netanyahu wanted them to be 2 years away from or 3 years away from having nuclear capabilities. So in his mind, it was an existential threat that needed to be taken seriously. This president took that seriously with the intelligence that he had coming from both our intelligence gathering and especially Israel's. I think the decision is made that it's now or never.
Be sure to stay with 6 News and CBS News for continuing coverage on this conflict. We'll update you on air and online at WLNS.com. Meanwhile, back in Congressman Barrett's district, constituents concerned about the future of Medicaid marched on his Lansing office once again. In fact, protesters are heading to 3 congressional offices in Michigan. The others are John James in Warren and Bill Huizenga in Portage. They're part of a group called Protect My Care, and they delivered messages from voters who want to protect Medicaid, which helps cover the cost of health care for 700,000 low-income Michiganders from potential budget cuts. Rep. Barrett has previously told 6 News that the cuts would remove people who are not eligible from the program and ask others to work or volunteer. And advocates aren't the only ones concerned about the future of Medicaid. In less than an hour, Senator Elissa Slotkin will deliver a speech on what she calls a new vision for the Democratic Party. She opposes what President Donald Trump has called the One Big Beautiful Budget Bill because she says it would, quote, gut basic needs programs like Medicaid and SNAP. But she also says Democrats need to go on offense and talk about why their plans are better for Americans. She's set to deliver that speech at the Center for American Progress in Washington at 1 p.m. And if you want to see it for yourself, you can watch Senator Slotkin's speech streaming live at WLNS.com. A landlord whom the city of Lansing has filed 8 lawsuits against is set to appear in court this afternoon. Christian Nwabu is accused of mismanaging his rental properties. We first told you about Nwabu last year in a 6 News Investigate series. We discovered he was renting out pink-tagged properties, which means they aren't inspected properly, and also red-tagged properties, which are deemed unsafe to live in. The city of Lansing filed 8 lawsuits against the landlord back in April for violating housing codes. It's the first step in the city's legal battle to ultimately seek receivership of Nwabu's properties. Meanwhile, demolition is on hold at another development, the Cristana Estates. That's after a court order by a judge this morning. It's a mobile home village in Clinton County that the owner is trying to shut down. That's according to advocates for the few people left at the park. They say the judge also ordered the owner to deliver water to those who remain. 6 News broke the story of the shutdown there and the subsequent legal battle. People living there say the owner didn't give them enough notice when telling them to leave back in March. Stay with 6 News as we continue to follow this developing story.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
It is going to be another incredibly humid day across mid-Michigan, but for the time being, those of us along and north of I-96 are still dealing with some dry and partly cloudy conditions. Notice we have those partly cloudy skies over here in the city of Lansing this afternoon. Temperature-wise, we're currently in the upper 70s. Notice our dew point temperatures mid to low 70s across the region, so it is feeling just slightly warmer outside, like we're about 82 degrees here in Lansing. Similar situation in Grand Ledge, 82, feeling like we are already in the upper 80s. In Jackson, we did have a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms make their way through the region. Notice that we do have that wet pavement in the background here. Rainfall total currently sitting right at 0.2 of an inch. Temperatures and our feels like temperatures both sitting right at 76 degrees. In Hillsdale County, it does feel a lot warmer, like we're already in the low 90s this afternoon because of those dew point temperatures right at 74 degrees. Again, satellite and radar showing those scattered showers and thunderstorms making their way through the region. The strongest thunderstorm that we currently have across the lower peninsula is just south of Kalamazoo. I will point out there's a lot of lightning associated with these thunderstorms, even as of right now. That's likely going to increase slightly as they make their way into mid-Michigan. And these thunderstorms are actually moving relatively slow, right around 20-30 miles per hour. So if you're caught under one of those heavy downpours, our rainfall totals are going to start to rack up incredibly quickly. Now, similar to what we saw yesterday and the day before that, yet again, the Storm Prediction Center has all of mid-Michigan in this level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for strong to severe storms. My biggest concern going to be a couple of isolated strong wind gusts. Notice on Precision Cast, we're going to increase the amount of activity across the region this afternoon and evening. I still think we'll be holding on to the chance for a couple of isolated sprinkles until right around midnight. After that, we will be able to dry things out, looking at partly cloudy skies as we start off our Friday, and then another round of scattered showers and thunderstorms will begin to pop up Friday afternoon, continuing into the evening hours of the day. The good news is just in time for the weekend, we will be able to dry things out. We have a lot of sunshine in the forecast, not only for Saturday, but also for Sunday as well. As an added bonus over the weekend, that's when our dew point temperatures are going to begin to slightly decrease, so going to feel a lot less humid come Saturday and Sunday. The big relief is going to be moving in as we move into early and the middle portion of next week. Now, high temperatures for today making it up to 88 degrees. Feels like temperatures will be in the mid to upper 90s, likely in the triple digits down towards Branch and Hillsdale County. Notice on our 6-day forecast, as we start to decrease that humidity over the weekend, high temperatures also going to decrease as well. Only in the low 80s for highs on Saturday, jumping right back up into the 90s in time for our Sunday. Another round of scattered showers and thunderstorms will be possible as we move into Monday of next week. Tuesday, the day everyone is looking forward to. We kick that humidity out of the area. We are dry and sunny. sunny, highs in the mid-80s.
It's pretty good. I was peeking over it Saturday and Sunday, though.
Still good pool days.
Yep.
Yeah, we're keeping the weekend dry and sunny for you.
All I care about.
I know.
It's pathetic.
No, that's what we need. A nice, good, dry weekend.
Yeah. Perfect, Kendall. Thank you.